Assalamu alaikum. David Attenborough turns 100 years old this week. Now, how can someone spend a lifetime studying nature and still not believe in the creator behind it? And how can a simple Bedouin with no education arrive at that truth instantly? Now, I'll be honest, I'm a fan of David Attenborough, his work, his documentaries, decades of studying the natural world. I've pretty much seen all of those documentaries. Now, it brings us closer to the beauty, the complexity and precision of creation like never before. And that's exactly why this question is so striking. After a lifetime of observing nature, after seeing what most of us will never see, how does someone like David Attenborough still remain agnostic? Surely the deeper you go into creation, the clearer the creator becomes. Or look at it this way: why do some of the most intelligent people still miss the most obvious truth? It is said a Bedouin was once asked, "How do you know God exists without having seen him?" And he replied, "The camel dung points to the camel, the footprints point to the traveler. So a sky full of stars, a land full of pathways, a sea full of waves, does it not point to a creator?" Simple, clear, rational, no PhD, no laboratory, and no decades of research. Demonstrating that belief in God doesn't require sophistication, education, or a complex mindset. In fact, quite the opposite. Belief is innate in man. What is required is honesty, sincerity, and a little rational thinking. The Bedouin is characterized by a genuineness, humility, which many an academic may lack. His logic doesn't require complex abstractions, hence the dung of a camel and footprints in the desert were enough evidence. He reasons the vastness of the constellation-filled sky and the wonders of earth must indicate an all-aware designer and creator. So now the question becomes, why does the Bedouin see what David Attenborough hasn't been able to see in 70 years of study? Because the issue isn't intelligence, it's not education, and it's not access to information. The issue is something deeper: perspective, sincerity, and intellectual arrogance. Some people study creation to understand how it works: academia, theory, processes, systems, mechanism, etc. But they never ask why it exists in the first place, i.e. the purpose, the origin, and the meaning. So they miss the point entirely, the essence of their surroundings. And add to that the over-analytical, the intelligent, arrogant, the complex mindset. The agnostic, the atheist, sees the same footprint, but pauses, argues, doubts, is skeptic, concluding not enough evidence. What? To conclude that there was a traveler? And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Let's be honest. If this isn't the arrogance of man that refuses and prevents him from accepting the clear obvious, then what is? Intellectual arrogance becomes a barrier leading to overcomplication, constant doubt, and refusal to accept the obvious and simple truth. The Bedouin sees the footprint and accepts the traveler. The intellectual arrogant convinces himself that maybe there was no traveler at all. Neither is the issue a lack of evidence. The evidence is everywhere, in the sky, in the earth, in your own body. The real issue is this: are you willing to accept what the evidence leads to? It's this refusal to accept what the evidence leads to. Because belief doesn't just mean acknowledging a creator, it means humility, it means submission, it means accountability. And some men won't accept to humble themselves in front of his Lord, his creator, arguing he's far too intelligent to believe. Now that's the fact of life. Not everyone is ready to accept humility and submit. It is the arrogance of the Iblis which man has a share of. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us something really powerful in the Qur'an. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "And even if we had sent down to them the angels and the dead spoke to them, and we gathered together everything in front of them, they would still not believe unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should will, but most of them are ignorant." Now think about that. Even miracles would not be enough for some people. Why? Because the issue isn't the eyes. It is not the eyes that are blind, but the hearts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "So have they not traveled through the earth and have hearts by which to reason and ears by which to hear? For indeed it is not the eyes that are blinded, but blinded are the hearts which are within the breasts. And that's the reality. If David Attenborough lived 1,000 years, continued his study of the natural world, do you think he would be any closer to belief? If they wanted to believe the dung, the footprints were surely enough. And if 70 years of study, examination was still not enough, then one has to wonder what difference 1,000 years will make. God forbid, I'm not saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot guide anyone. He guides whosoever He subhanahu wa ta'ala wills. I genuinely pray David Attenborough finds belief. Ameen. However, Emaan, belief and guidance, this is not something you earn purely through intelligence. It is a gift given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to those who are sincere enough to accept what is already clear. And the reality is many people around us, despite knowledge, success, intellect, are deprived of that gift, while others with simplicity, sincerity, humility, no education are guided to it. So the question isn't just about David Attenborough, it's about all of us. How are we looking at the world? Are we just observing, or are we reflecting? Are we analyzing, or are we recognizing? Because the signs are not hidden, they've always been there. The only question is, are we willing to accept what they point to? If this made you think, share it, reflect on it, and don't forget to subscribe and support the platform. Assalamu alaikum.